Hello everyone and welcome to Warren's Team Talk. Thank you very much for coming and joining me today. I hope you're all right and having a good day and enjoying yourselves. So today, what are we doing today? Well, we're going to be looking at what happened in the FA Premier League games over the weekend. We're going to review that and see all the ins and outs, the ups and the downs and all the rest of it. So I hope that you're going to enjoy that. So before we get started, can I please ask you to put a like on the video? Please ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Please share it around as well if you don't mind. That'd be absolutely fantastic if you wouldn't mind doing that for me. So let's get on with it. So let's see what happened. So, everyone, don't forget, as always, there is a petition on the change.org website, which I set up to tell Arsenal Football Club that we don't want Mikel Arteta to be given a new contract. My suspicion is that he's already signed it, but they haven't announced it yet. So hopefully we can put some pressure on them if he hasn't already signed it, and let them know that we're not happy about that. But so the link for it is in the description of this video. So if you want to go and do that, feel free. If you feel the same way as me, then go and do that. If you don't and you don't want to sign it, that's absolutely fine. That's entirely up to you. But anyway, what's the next thing on the list? Right, okay, so I just want to tell you about these YouTube channels, all right? Now, there's some really good YouTube channels out there. These ones are all ones that are to do with Arsenal Football Club. And the first one is the Old School Gunner. Old School Gunner, he's been following Arsenal since 1992, and he brings you really insightful, excellent Arsenal-related content. There's Arsenal Alex. He brings you all things about Arsenal, including instant match reactions and excellent shorts. DrawnByDre, he's a passionate young Arsenal fan and he brings you Arsenal-related content. Then there's the Aussie Gooner, this guy. His passion is off the scale. It really is. And he's a lovely guy, a top gooner, a top gunner. And he's a really, really good guy. He knows lots about the club. So please go and check him out. Especially his content is up there, mate. I'm telling you, it really is. And he's got a criminal level of subs. He should have way, way more than what he has, because his content is well deserving of it, as is he. Then there's Diesel Arsenal. He's another really mad, passionate Arsenal fan. He did a brilliant stream last night, although I don't appear to have received a notification for it. I found out about it in the small hours of the morning, and so I watched it this morning, and it was absolutely superb. So big up to him. Del Boy Gunner. Del Boy Gunner is another really fantastic YouTuber, and his channel Del Boy Gunner TV the content on it is absolutely superb. He does call-in shows so that fans can have their opinion and their say about the matches, and fair play to him. He gets all sorts of people on there with all sorts of different opinions. So, big up to him. And I'm absolutely delighted to say that later on this evening at 7 o'clock, he'll be on my channel. And we're going to be talking about his life as a football fan. And, I'm sure that's going to be wild. I'm really, really looking forward to chatting to him tonight. So, if you've got time and you're around, please come and join us at 7 o'clock. And find out all about Del Boy Gunner. Then we got Jez Collins's new channel, Arsenal, the History and More. Jez has uploaded some absolutely fantastic videos. Honestly, this man, what he doesn't know about Arsenal is just not worth knowing. And he, honestly, the videos he does are absolutely superb. And particularly that one that he did last night about the 1988-89 season. It was absolutely superb. I absolutely loved it. I don't know about anyone else who watched it, but I did. I really, really enjoyed it. Then there's Gracie-Mae, and Gracie's a really young Arsenal fan, and she's very, very talented, speaks really well, and does excellent Arsenal content. So please go and check her out. She recently done a vlog which she worked really, really hard on. So go and check that out as well. So she sort of gave you an insight into what her life is like on a daily basis. So yeah, go and check her out. Then we got NorthsideLdn. He's another really passionate Arsenal fan, and he doesn't accept any nonsense, and he refuses to accept mediocrity. And he's a really cool guy because he's very passionate about the club, and he says it how it is, but he also gets people on his channel who disagree with him. So it's great. And he's got a guy that goes on there regularly called Prince Fjord. He's a massive supporter of Mikel Arteta. So, yeah, it does get quite tense between the two of them when they're on together. But, yeah, it's really, really good. Really, I really, really like Northside's channel. It's absolutely superb. Stephen Featley. Stephen does Arsenal-related content and Formula One. And he uses his channel to raise awareness and money for the Children's Liver Disease Foundation. And all the money he makes from his YouTube activity goes to support the Children's Liver Disease Foundation charity. So please, please, please go and check him out. Let him know that I've been going on about him and whatnot. So yeah, that'd be fantastic. And then last but not least is Carl Walsh Arsenal. I believe that he's going to be reigniting his YouTube channel imminently, maybe in the next day or two. And the guy is he's just mad about Arsenal. And his passion just goes through the roof. So please, please, please go and check him out. He knows what he's talking about, and he's an absolutely superb guy. And his content is just fantastic. So please go and check him out. Right, before we move on, I'm just going to say hello to people in the chat. So we've got Taib here. Hi, Taib. He says, hi, Warren. How you doing, mate? I hope you're well. Yeah, I know where you're getting your jokes from, Taib, I think. So, and I have to say, I'm very, very impressed. Craig Malloy says, Warren, good afternoon. Hi, Craig. I hope you're good. Nice to see you. And Craig says hello to Taib as well. And Craig says, Warren, what do you give a dog for Christmas? A bone. Are you another one that's using Alexa to get your jokes? Because that's why I think Taib's getting his from. But fair play to the both of you, because your jokes are absolutely wild. They really are. I love it. I absolutely love it when you two come in here with your jokes and whatnot. So, yeah, fair play to you. So, let's move on and let's get on with the show. So, the Premier League table, before the game started this weekend, just gone. Hold on, where am I? What am I doing? Right, okay, yeah. So this was the Premier League table before the weekend started. This Premier League table is as on the 21st of April. Man City were top by 1 point from Liverpool. Chelsea were in third, 5 points clear of Arsenal with a game in hand. Tottenham with a game in hand, and Arsenal as well. Then we had Arsenal and Tottenham level on points and games played, but separated by Tottenham's superior goal difference. Then in 6th, we had Manchester United. Manchester United had a far inferior goal difference, and also had Arsenal and Spurs both had a game in hand on them. West Ham were in 7th. They had 2 points less than United, but having played the same amount of games. Then in 8th, we had Wolves. 9th, we had Leicester. 10th, we had Brighton. And 11th, up to 11th now, we had Newcastle. We had a good run of form of late. I'd seen them climb to 11th, which is remarkable given how a short time ago they were sitting in the bottom 3. So they've done really, really well to get them up to where they are now. So fair play to Eddie Howe. He's done a great job there. So yeah, makes you wonder what's going to happen next season when they got a summer transfer window behind them, and they go into the season with a new squad of players probably. Whether Eddie Howe will still be there or not, I've got no idea, but there you go. Now, down the bottom of the table, it's starting to sort of spread out a bit now. Norwich are sat bottom on 21 points, and sadly for me, I think they're doomed. I can't, unless some miracle occurs, I really can't see them getting out of this. I mean, they're 8 points from safety. So they'd have to go on some remarkable run now to get out of that, I think. Watford are sat 19th. They have played the same amount of games as Norwich and have 1 point more, and I think the same applies to them, really. And then we have Burnley and Everton. We had Burnley and Everton. Burnley and Everton were both on 31 games. Burnley had 25 points and Everton had 29. And Leeds had 4 points more than Everton, but had Everton had a game in hand on them. So, yeah, it's looking a bit tricky for the guys down the bottom of the table, and Villa seem to be getting dragged into it a little bit there as well. They're in 15th, only 3 points ahead of Leeds, but they do have a game in hand over Leeds. But when you're down that end of the table and the form that they're in, games in hand don't really count for much. So anyway, so let's see what happened this weekend. So the fixtures for the weekend, the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday saw Arsenal take on Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. And then we had 3 o'clock kickoffs, which were Leicester against Aston Villa, Manchester City against Watford, Norwich against Newcastle. The evening kickoff saw Brentford take on Tottenham at 5:30. And then on Sunday, we had 3 2 o'clock kickoffs, which were Brighton against Southampton, a South Coast derby. And then Burnley against Wolves, Chelsea against West Ham, big traditional London derby. And that used to be a big derby that back in the day it always used to be quite tense, and invariably it was quite a difficult game to police because both sets of fans had notorious hooligan elements, and it was a real nightmare of a game. Then we had the Merseyside derby, Liverpool against Everton. A lot riding on that game at both ends of the table, to be quite honest. And then last but not least, last night, Crystal Palace took on Leeds United. So that was the weekend fixtures. So the results in the games. The first game up was Arsenal against Manchester United, which was the 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal won the games by 3-1. And to be honest, I just thought the game was a joke. I really did. obviously I was really happy that Arsenal won the game, but the defending from both teams was atrocious, absolutely shocking. It was like, how can I explain it? It's like a game of basketball. Like one attacked, then the other one attacked, and yeah, it could have ended up 5-4 to be quite honest. So yeah, it was a madness. So like I say, Arsenal won by 3-1. Tavares scored in the 3rd minute. Saka got a penalty in the 32nd minute to make it 2-0. Ronaldo pulled one back a couple of minutes later in the 34th minute. United missed a penalty when it was 2-1. A terrible penalty from what's the guy's name? From Fernandes. And then finally, Xhaka scored an absolute belter of a goal to make it 3-1. So Arsenal won the game, like I say, by 3-1, which saw them move up into 4th place. So before we go any further, let's have a look at some of the comments. The Arsenal 49 says, "Bonjour, Ryan. Are you optimistic for our game against West Ham, you cheeky bugger?" I have to say, mate, I'm not. I'm going to be doing a video about my predictions for the end of the season, probably towards the end of the week. And I was just looking at West Ham's home form. It is actually quite impressive. And of late, our away form hasn't been great. So I'm not optimistic about that one. I think it's going to be a really hard game for Arsenal. West Ham isn't a particularly easy place to go either. So I'm not 100% sure about that one yet. So no, to answer your question, mate, no, I'm not optimistic. But I have to say, if you're old enough to remember a program on TV called Dad's Army, I'm a bit like the chap in Dad's Army called Fraser, who used to go, "We're doomed, like that all the time. Yeah, so if you've never seen the show, go and look it up on YouTube. It is quite funny. It's basically about the Home Guard during the Second World War, and what these guys used to do. They were like a sort of a part-time army that would kick into action if Britain had got invaded during the Second World War. And yeah, it was quite comical actually, that show. But anyway, enough about that. Carl Walsh says, "Hi Taib, and nice to see you, Carl. I hope you're all right, mate. Hi Craig, I hope you're well," he says. And Carl said, "United could have beat us if they'd had more chances. We are so bad in defence." 100%, Carl. You're absolutely 100% correct with that one, my fella. Yeah, they could have. It could have easily gone the other way. I mean, I think 3-1 to Arsenal is a bit flattering, in my opinion, because, like I said, both teams' defences were shocking. But fair play to Arsenal. They got their opportunities and took them, and United, they missed that penalty, and I think if they'd scored that penalty, it would have been a different story, but they didn't, so fair play. Carl Walsh, big ups, is Craig Malloy. Carl, how are you getting on with your channel? Is that going well? Did the fella come and sort you out today? D. Arsenal says, "I think West Ham play the Europa game very close to our fixture, which will hopefully give us an advantage." Well, yeah, you never know. But like I say, their home form is quite impressive. I think of the last 5 home games, they've won 4 and drawn 1. So, yeah, they're unbeaten at home in their last 5, I seem to remember. But, yeah, we'll see when I do that show at the end of the week. So, yeah, there you go. Let's move on. And the match stats for this game. Right, before the weekend started, Arsenal was sat in 5th and United was sat in 6th. Then after this game, Arsenal moved up to 4th and United stayed in 6th. Arsenal had 14 shots and we had 7. Arsenal had 7 shots on target. We had 55% possession. Then we made 507 passes and had an 84% pass accuracy. United had 14 shots, 5 of which were on target. They had 45% possession. They made 412 passes and had a pass accuracy of 81%. So as you can see there wasn't that much difference between the two sides, really. Next game we're going to talk about is the Leicester-Aston Villa game. The game ended in a 0-0 draw. So Villa, I'm sure, would have been quite happy they managed to get a point out of that game. But they are getting increasingly close to the relegation zone. So they won't be happy about that at all. Of course not. At the beginning of the weekend, Leicester was sat in 9th and Villa was sat in 15th. After the game, Leicester had moved down to 10th and Villa stayed in 15th. The match stats for this one were Leicester had 5 shots, they had 2 on target, they had 65% possession, made 520 passes and had a pass accuracy of 85%. And then Villa had 11 shots, 3 of which were on target. They had 35% possession and they had 289 passes and a pass accuracy of 68%. Now, next game up was a 3:00 kickoff and it was Man City against Watford. Now, I remember this game because we covered it in the Matchday live show. Always takes place on the Saturday afternoon on my channel. And Man City absolutely battered Watford. And Gabriel Jesus, he scored 4 goals that afternoon. He scored in the 4th, 23rd, 49th and the 53rd minute. And so fair play to him. And the goal that he scored in the 49th minute was a penalty. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, geez, how many are they going to score? You know, they scored the 5th one in the 53rd minute. And I was thinking, they're going to they could get 8, 9, whatever they want in this game. It was just getting ridiculous. It was fantastic performance for the Man City fans. Watford pulled one back from Kamara in the 28th minute. It was a bit of a chastening experience, to be honest, for Watford. I remember years ago I went to see Arsenal play Leeds in the League Cup, and you'll probably hear us talking about that game on Friday when I'm on DrawnByDre TV's channel, because Jez, myself, Del Boy, and I'm not sure who else is going to be on there. There's usually 4 of us, and we're going to be finishing off talking about the 1979-80 season. And that season, Arsenal played Leeds in a League Cup game at Highbury, and Arsenal demolished Leeds in that game by 7-0. And it was a crazy game because Arsenal scored practically every 15th minute. And and in those days, Leeds were a really good side. They were they consistently finished in the top 5. They'd only a few years before been challenging for league titles and challenging for European Cups, and Arsenal just took them apart. It was incredible. But like I say, you'll hear more about that game I expect, on Friday night when we talk about the 1979-80 season. But anyway, back to the modern day. Rodri got the other goal for Man City in the 34th minute, and like I say, Man City, I was fully expecting them to run up a cricket score, to be quite honest. The way they were banging in goals left, right and centre in that first 50-odd minutes or so. The match stats for this game, before the weekend started, City was sat in first, Watford was sat in 19th, and after the game finished, Man City was still sat first and Watford were at 19th. So in this game, Man City had 21 shots, 8 of them were on target. They had 74% possession. They had 701 passes and had 88% pass accuracy. And they committed 9 fouls. Quite one foul count on there, I'm not sure. But yeah, I must have been half asleep when I did that. Watford, for their part, they had 5 shots, 2 were on target, and they scored one of them, so fair play to them. They had 26% possession, made 247 passes, had a pass accuracy of 72%, and committed 7 fouls. Right, so before we go any further, let's catch up with the chats. So D Arsenal said, I thought you're more of an Only Fools man than Dad's Army, mate. I love both of them, to be honest. I think both of them are absolutely hilarious. Carl Walsh says, the fella is coming this evening, mate, so hopefully it'll be sorted tonight. I can't wait. Lads, subscribe to Warren's channel. He is a legend with great content. Thank you very much, Carl. That's lovely of you to say that. Thank you. And I'm still bloody reeling from that video clip I showed you of all those nutters up on the tables singing that effing Arteta song last night. I don't understand what's wrong with these people. D Arsenal 49 says Warren, also known as the Warrenator, is a goat on YouTube despite his difference in opinion with MS. Who's MS on Arteta? I've got no idea who MS is, mate, but thank you very much for your kind comment. And the Warrenator, oh dear me, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, Taib says, I don't trust Arsenal to buy the right players in the summer. Well, Edu said that we're going to buy 1 or 2 big players in the summer. We need about 8, 9, in my opinion. And I knew this was going to be the case because we didn't do what we should have done in the summer. This thing about it, Project Youth, trust the process. The only project that's in operation at Arsenal Football Club at the moment is Project Keep the Clowns in a Job. That's all it is. The reason they went down this Project Youth route was so that they could say, yeah, they're young players, they need time and blah, 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 just to keep these clowns in the job longer. They're all in it together, mate. It's an absolute shambles. Taib says, hi, Carl, stop breaking your TV, laugh out loud. Mate, that story was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And I remember during the 1990 World Cup, when England lost to Germany on penalties, we was all in a pub watching it on the TV. And this young lad got so upset, he kicked the table where the TV was. The table went up in the air and so did the TV. And luckily for him, the TV landed in the right position, back on the table with the same position as it was before. It was madness. Dave says, hi, Craig, laugh out loud. And Taib says Ian Wright was singing that Arteta song as well. What a mug. Mate, next week he'd be calling him for him to be getting the sack. It's just ridiculous. D Arsenal 49 in the summer. Let's resign David Dean. Well, he can't resign if he's not at the club. Unless you're saying re-sign him. If you're saying re-sign him, yeah, because he would point out to the owners that all these clowns we've got at the club aren't doing a good job, and they need to be gotten rid of. And Taib said David Dean is almost 80. Jesus Christ, is he that old? Yeah, so maybe not then. I doubt he'd be up for coming back anyway. The Arsenal says I'm a full keeper. My apologies. Mate, you don't have to apologise. I was just wondering what was going on. I was a bit confused, but that's not difficult. So, anyway, let's get back on with the show. Norwich took on Newcastle, and Newcastle won comfortably by 3-0. Thanks to 2 goals from Joel Linton and Gamage. Joel Linton scored in the 35th and 41st minutes, and then Gamage scored in the 49th minute to give Newcastle, like I say, a very comfortable 3-0 victory. The match stats for this game: Norwich finished started the weekend in 20th, and at the end of the weekend, that's where they stayed. Newcastle moved from 11th up to 9th. I just find it incredible that their transformation in them since Eddie Howe's been there. Because at one point they were in the bottom 3, and now they're up to 9th. It's incredible. Anyway, so the match stats for this one: Norwich City had 5 shots, they had 2 on target, and they had 45% possession. They had 417 passes and a pass accuracy of 75%. Newcastle had 13 shots, 7 of which were on target. They had 55% possession. They had 506 passes and a pass accuracy of 83%. So, yeah, I just wanted to say, Carl, I forgot to say, good luck tonight, mate, with this fella. I hope he manages to get it all sorted out for you, and that you'll be back banging your Arsenal drum from tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to seeing your content, mate, because from what I've seen of your other stuff, I think it's going to be wild. I really do. So, yeah, good luck with that, mate. And let me know if there's any help you need or anything you need, please. And I'll be happy to do what I can. Taib says, Warren, do you remember during the mid-90s, Newcastle got a couple of top 4 finishes? I think we could see that again in the future. Mate, they nearly won the league a couple of times in the 90s when Kevin Keegan was manager up there. And their football they played was just absolutely superb. But the thing that did them in was that Keegan was just... It was crazy. He had a team, I think they had about 8 strikers in the team, and it was just ridiculous. It was so buccaneering, I suppose is the best word to describe it. They would just go out and try and smash teams and outscore sides. Yeah, I mean, they got into the Champions League on one occasion, and they beat Barcelona 3-2 at home. And he famously had a ruck with Alex Ferguson Alex Ferguson started messing with his head, and yeah, it was just wild. Go and have a look. If you want to find out more, go and check out my video in England's most successful football club series, and there's a video in there about Newcastle United, and I'll talk about all of that in there. So yeah, go and check that out, mate, 'cause it's an unbelievable story. It really is. And yeah, you're right. I think we will see more of it. I fully expect them to be challenging within the next 2 or 3 years. D Arsenal 49 says, "What's your thoughts, amigo, on the King Thierry and DB10 being at the United game alongside ESR and Saka, despite their attempt at a bid with the Spotify man?" I think it's great that they were at the. I think it's great that they were at the game, and if they're able to inspire some of the younger players, that would be superb. I'd like to see more ex-players involved in the club, like coaching the youngsters and passing on their knowledge and experience to them. But I don't want to see it personally. I know a lot of people would like to see Patrick Vieira as manager. I don't want any ex-player, and particularly a legend, managing Arsenal Football Club, because I just don't think our fans have the ability to act responsibly with it. I mean, you've seen all the nonsense that people are coming out with about Arteta, and he's not even an Arsenal. He's not an Arsenal legend, and if they're behaving like this with Mikel Arteta, what's it going to be like if we had Vieira in charge? And God forbid that the results were going bad and we had to get rid of him. People would just be going crazy. You can't do that. The man is a legend. No. I just don't think it's a good idea. Not with this fan base. The Arsenal 49 says, "Man, no, I knew what you meant, mate. Don't worry about it." So the match stats for this game: Norwich City had 5 shots. They had 2 on target. They had 45% possession, made 417 passes, and had a pass accuracy of 75%. Newcastle, on the other hand, they had 13 shots, 7 of which were on target. They had 55% possession, made 506 passes, and had a pass accuracy of 83%. So Brentford against Tottenham. That game was the evening kickoff on Saturday. Brentford entertained Tottenham at the Brentford Community Stadium, and the game ended in a 0-0 draw. At the beginning of the weekend, Brentford was sat in 12th. Tottenham was sat in 5th. That's round the wrong way. It should be 5th and 4th, not 4th and 5th. And at the end of the weekend, Brentford stayed in 12th, and Tottenham moved down to 5th. So yeah, no, it was right. Tottenham before the weekend was sat in 4th, and they moved down to 5th at the end of the weekend. Brentford had 15 shots, 2 of which were on target. They had 44% possession, and they had 393 passes and a pass accuracy of 75%. Tottenham, on the other hand, had 9 shots, none of which were on target. They had 56% possession, 508 passes, and a pass accuracy of 84%. So not a good performance from Tottenham at all. But from what I've heard about the game, it sounded like Brentford really, really set about them and really, really tore into them. So fair play to Brentford. So let's move on with some more chats. Taib said Vieira is a great mid-table manager, and no disrespect to our legend, he ain't gonna. I guess you're saying, Taib, that he ain't gonna win a league title, and I think you're probably right. I don't think he would win a league title, and I just don't trust our fan base to behave responsibly with with any manager in charge, less a legend. So, the Arsenal 49 says it's nice to see Bergkamp and Henry with the youngsters. Hopefully, they are more involved. Yeah, I'd like to see them more involved as well, just so they can pass on their experience and give them a bit of coaching and stuff. It'd be great. I would hate any Arsenal legend to take over, because if they're not successful, their legacy could be tarnished. Well, it could be, and if we had to get rid of them, I just think it would be it would be really, really difficult, because I just don't trust our fans to behave responsibly about it. Why hasn't Vieira got a statue is the real question. Well, yeah, that's what I'd like to know as well. And I'd also like to know why George Graham hasn't got one. Well, I know why he hasn't got one. It's to do with the way that he left the club, I think. But yeah, he should have one, and so should Vieira. It's just ridiculous. Next game, Brighton took on Southampton on Sunday. The game ended in a 2-2 draw. Brighton raced into a 2-goal lead. Welbeck scored the first one in the second minute. Then an own goal from Salisu gave Brighton a 2-goal lead in the 44th minute. Then Ward-Prowse pulled one back for Southampton in the 4th minute of adding on time at the end of the first half. And then he added a second one just 9 minutes into the second half to make it 2-2. And there was no further scoring. So the game ended in a 2-2 draw in the big South Coast derby. So at the beginning of the weekend, Brighton was sat in 10th and Southampton was sat in 13th. At the end of the weekend, they were sat in 11th and Southampton sat in 13th. Now, Brighton in the game had 8 shots. They had 5 on target. They had 48% possession. They made 349 passes and had 65% possession. 65% pass accuracy. And Southampton had 18 shots, 5 of which were on target. They had 52% possession, made 365 passes, and had a pass accuracy of 71%. So let's move on. Warren Taib says, I love your pronunciations. I think you deserve a gold trophy. Mate, my pronunciations are shocking. And Static says, hi, Warren. Hi, Static. I hope you're well, mate. Nice to see you. Warren, are you impressed with Vieira for Palace this season? I think he's done a great job. It was always going to be really difficult following in Uncle Roy's footsteps, and he's transformed them in a very short space of time, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. But I don't want him at Arsenal. Thank you very much. That's for sure. Just basically because I don't want any legends or anyone who's had any contact with this club being appointed as manager, because I don't trust our supporters to behave responsibly. The way they behave with Mikel Arteta, for me, I just find it embarrassing. The Arsenal 49 says, Arsenal almost guaranteed Jesus in the summer. and are looking at Origi if we don't get Darwin Núñez. And mate, I don't think we're going to get any of them, because if they're sensible, they won't come to Arsenal. Why would they want to come to a club that continually plays on the back foot and doesn't create chances? And we got a manager who's a megalomaniac. I wouldn't touch the club with a bloody barge pole if I was any of those players. Ryan, do you do autograph for fans? If they want an autograph, I'd be happy to supply it. Yeah, of course I would. I don't think anyone would want my autograph, to be quite honest. I'm not a celebrity or anything like that, but if people wanted my autograph and they asked for it, of course I'd give it to them. Taib says, I reckon Vieira will be able to get Everton away from the relegation zone. Yeah, I don't know about that, Taib. I think that club is in a massive mess. It's a bit similar to, I think they've got similar problems to Arsenal with the hierarchy there. And I don't think that Frank Lampard is the man. I think they needed an experienced manager who's got experience of getting sides out of a relegation, out of getting teams out of relegation trouble. I'm not sure that's him, to be quite honest. I don't know what his career in management was like before he came to Palace, but I'm not convinced that he would get them out, and I certainly don't think Frank Lampard was the right appointment. Static says, Warren, facts. Thank you, Static. Warren, who was the best penalty taker, past and present? Says Craig. Well, we talked about one Friday just gone on Del Boy's channel. And are you talking about for Arsenal or in general? Because if it's Arsenal, probably Liam Brady, Thierry Henry, yeah, just to name a couple. But if you're talking about football in general, I'd say David Shuka was pretty lethal from a penalty spot as well. So yeah, there's 3 for a kickoff. So Taib Hussain says, Craig, you're everywhere. Laugh out loud. He gets everywhere. Fair play to him. Craig Malloy, Taib, laugh out loud. Matt D. Arsenal 49. Matt Letitia was such a good penalty taker. He doesn't get much recognition. No, and he was a one-club man, and that's probably why he doesn't get the recognition he deserved, because he stayed at Southampton when he had opportunities to go to bigger clubs. I think he was heavily linked with Chelsea at one point, and he stayed at Southampton. But fair play to him. I respect that. I really do. Yeah, and Letitia was lethal from the penalty spot as well. So the next game up was Burnley against Wolves. Massive win for Burnley. They won by 1-0 against Wolves. Vidra got the goal in the 62nd minute. The match stats for this game. Right, so before the weekend started, Burnley was sat in the bottom 3 in 18th position, and Wolves were sat in 8th. At the end of the weekend, Burnley had moved up to 17th, and Wolves stayed in 8th. The match stats for this game: Burnley had 14 shots. They had 5 shots on target. They had 35% possession, made 320 passes, and had a pass accuracy of 73%. And then Wolves, they had 10 shots, 4 of which were on target. They had possession of 65%, and they made 584 passes and had a pass accuracy of 82%. So, yeah, that was the Burnley Wolves game, a massive game, like I said, for Burnley. It took them out of the bottom three. So, and it pushed Everton into the bottom three. So, there you have it. Before we talk about this one, let's get back to some more of these comments. Craig says, football in general. Okay, so David Shuka was fantastic in international football with penalties for Croatia, I seem to remember. Then I think Paul Breitner was a good penalty taker for the Germans. And Kenny Dalglish, I think, used to take them for Liverpool. I'm just thinking about different people who were well known for taking penalties. Michel Platini, I think, used to take them for the French national team. And when he was at Juventus. So, yeah, there's some names for you, but you'd have to go some to beat Thierry or Liam Brady because both of them were absolutely lethal from the penalty spot. I think in all the years that Liam Brady was at Arsenal, I only ever saw him miss one penalty, and that, unfortunately, was in the European Cup Winners' Cup final against Valencia in 1980, which doesn't really get mentioned that much. But yeah. Anyway, Craig, did you see Matty Kay last night? Laugh out loud. Who is this Matty Kay fella that people keep talking about? Warren, if you met Arteta for dinner, what would you say to him? Jesus Christ. There'd be plenty I'd say to him. I'd question him about everything that he's done, his attitude, the way he makes decisions, the way he treats players. It's a whole lot of it. Every single aspect of his management is an absolute shambles. It really is. And I'm convinced that if Unai Emery had been given the backing that Arteta had, we would be in a title race by now. He would have done. JS says, good stream, but don't stay on too long and miss your Coronation Street. Coronation Street, has it started going on in the middle of the day or something? Because I never watch it. Craig Malloy, Taib, I did. Taib says, laugh out loud. And JS, why do you think I watch Coronation Street? What makes you think that? I haven't watched it for about 30 odd years, something like that. And Craig Malloy, Warren, easy question for you. Can you name the only football player not to get sent off? I don't believe Gary Lineker got sent off. Are you talking about Arsenal player? Because I think there's quite a few players that have never been sent off, to be fair. And yeah, some of the questions today have been hilarious. I have to say, I really enjoyed them. Chelsea against West Ham. Chelsea won by 1-0 thanks to Christian Pulisic, who scored in the last minute. And the match stats for this game were that Chelsea at the beginning of the weekend was sat in third, and West Ham was sat in seventh. And at the end of the weekend, nothing changed for both of them. In this game, Chelsea had 26 shots, 5 of which were on target. They had 67% possession, and they made 684 passes and had an 88% pass accuracy. And then West Ham had 6 shots, 2 of which were on target. They had 33% possession, 334 343 passes and a pass accuracy of 73%. And next up, we had Liverpool against Everton in the big Merseyside derby. Liverpool won this game by 2-0, thanks to goals from Robertson in the 62nd minute and Origi in the 85th minute. So it was quite a fiercely contested match, and Everton showed a lot of fight and determination in this game, which sadly for them, they haven't really shown much of during the course of the season. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get the points, and Liverpool ran out by winners by 2-0. And at the beginning of the weekend, Liverpool was sat in second and Everton was sat in 17th. At the end of the weekend, Liverpool had stayed in second and Everton dropped into the bottom three and was sat in 18th position. Now, during the course of the game, Liverpool had 18 shots. 4 of them were on target. They had 83% possession. They made 783 passes and had a pass accuracy of 89%. Everton had 9 shots, 1 of which was on target. They had 17% possession. They made 169 passes and had a pass accuracy of 55%. And then finally, the last game of the weekend was last night. It was Crystal Palace against Leeds. The game ended in a 0-0 draw. And before the weekend started with this one, Palace was sat in 14th, Leeds was sat in 16th. And at the end of the weekend, neither of them had moved up or down. But I do believe that draw has now placed Leeds 5 points clear of the relegation zone. And Palace, they had 17 shots during the course of the match. 7 of them were on target. They had 53% possession and they made 432 passes and a pass accuracy of 75%. And then at the Leeds, they had 9 shots, 2 of which were on target. They had 47% possession. They had 392 passes and a pass accuracy of 69%. So let's have a look at the league table as it stood this morning at the end of the weekend's matches. So here we have it. So as you can see, Man City 1 point clear of Liverpool. They've both got 5 games to go. So it's still all up for grabs. It's anyone's title, really. Chelsea are 5 points clear of Arsenal and have a game in hand. So if they win their game in hand, they'll be 5 points clear and securely, in my opinion, sat in third. Arsenal sat in fourth. They're 2 points clear of Tottenham, who are in fifth. There is a game to be played yet at White Hart Lane, which could change all of that. And Manchester United are sat in sixth. They played a game more than Arsenal and Spurs, and they're 6 points behind Arsenal, and they are 4 points behind Tottenham. And West Ham are in seventh. They're currently 8 points behind Arsenal and 6 points behind Manchester United. And again, Arsenal and Spurs have a game in hand over them. Wolves are sat in eighth 3 points behind West Ham. Newcastle are now up to 9th. Absolutely incredible transformation from Newcastle, who were in the bottom 3 up until quite recently, and now look at them. And in the relegation area, you've got in 15th place, you've got Aston Villa. They're on 37 points, having played 32 games. Leeds have played 33 games and have 34 points. Burnley are in 17th. They've played 33 games and have 31 points. And then in the relegation zone itself, in 18th position, we have Everton. They played 32 games and have 29 points. And they're 7 points clear with a game in hand over Watford in 19th, who have 22 points. And then bottom of the table in 20th place, we have Norwich City, and they're 1 point behind Watford. So there you have it. It's very worrying times for Everton. If they win their game in hand, they will move above Burnley, but their form is absolutely petrified at the moment, and it's not looking good at all. So there you have it. That's the league table. Let's have a look at some more of these comments. Quite easy question for you. Can you name the only football player not to get sent off? Says Craig Malloy. And D Arsenal said, and I ain't even reading that out, D Arsenal, because that's a joke. That is an absolute joke. Taiva saying, Warren, try pronouncing this name. Mate, are you having a laugh? I'm going to try it just for you, because I like you and respect you. Kevin Oghene Tega Tamaribe Bakuma Abraham. How's that for you, mate? And then spot on. It was Gary Lineker. Nice guy, says Craig Malloy. Warren, I know you're little EastEnders. I know you like a little EastEnders on a Saturday while dancing to Super Mikel Arteta and having a Stella. Mate, none of those things happen. 1, I can't drink. 2, I can't stand Arteta. 3, I don't like EastEnders. So none of that is going to happen. All of it is well wide of the mark, mate. Delboy Gunner says, hello, Warren, and all in the chat. I'm very busy here doing my homework for Warren. Can't wait for tonight's show with Warren. Mate, it's going to be wild. I'm really looking forward to it, mate. And anyone who hasn't done it yet, please go and subscribe to Delboy Gunner's channel. He's got an absolutely superb channel. He does regular phone-ins for people so they can come on his channel and have their say about the match that has been recently played. He did it for the Man United game most recently. And it's a really good thing that he does there. And people love it. And I'm really, really pleased that he does do that. So, yeah, please go and subscribe to him. He will be on my channel tonight. And I'm going to be throwing loads of questions to him. We're going to find out all about his life as a football fan. So that should be pretty wild. And Taib Hussain says, Delboy, hello, my good friend. And Delboy says, Taib, my guy. Exactly, he's a top man. Delboy, what's the bleeding crack, fella? Big up. Exactly. Craig, hi, pal. So, big up to Delboy. He's a top man. Absolutely top man. So, let's move on. So let's have a look at the predictions I made for this weekend's games. So the first game, let's go through them game by game. I said that Arsenal and Manchester United a draw 1-1. It ended in a 3-1 victory for Arsenal. A game full of instant and absolutely shocking defending from both sides. Leicester against Aston Villa. I said it would end in a 2-1 victory for Leicester. The game ended in a 0-0 draw. Manchester City against Watford. I said City would win 3-0 and they ended up winning 5-1. Norwich against Newcastle, I said would be a 1-1 draw. Norwich ended up losing 3-0 at home to Newcastle. Brentford against Tottenham. I said that Tottenham would win 2-1. And the game ended in a 0-0 draw. Brighton against Southampton. I thought that Brighton would win by 2-0. It ended in a 2-2 draw. Then Wolves against Burnley, I thought would be a 0-0 draw. Burnley ended up winning by 1-0. Chelsea against West Ham, I thought Chelsea would just edge it by 2-1. They did just edge it, but the scoreline was 1-0. Liverpool against Everton, I said that I thought Liverpool would win by 3-0. It ended in a 2-0 victory for Liverpool. And then finally, the game last night, I thought that Palace would beat Leeds by 2-0 and it ended in a 0-0 draw. So that was my predictions. And here's the predictions table. James Dunlop is still sat top. He's 5 points clear of my mate Mick. He had a very good week this week. He got 14 points. I came in, I'm currently third on 149 points. I only managed to get 4 points this week. Joanne Smith, she got 15 points. She's now sat on 35 points. Dan Evans on 15 and Jamie H is on 8. So there you go. So everyone, please don't forget about the petition that I've got. The link to it is in the description of this video. So if you want Mikel Arteta not to be offered a new contract, please go and check that out. Just click on the link. It's a free petition. And then just follow the instructions on screen and it will tell you what to do if you want to sign it. Also, please check out the work of the Gooner Claw Trust and try and show them some love and support. They try and provide, well, they do provide the opportunity for disadvantaged kids to be able to go to games at the Emirates Stadium in the best seats in the house. Absolutely fantastic charity, and it's a superb opportunity for youngsters. So there's a link in the description for that as well as there's also links for all those channels I told you about earlier. So just find the one that you're interested in and click on the link and it will take you there. Please subscribe to them all and share their content around. Put likes on their videos for them. I'm sure that you won't be disappointed by it. I really am, because they're all really, really excellent. And don't forget tonight, guys, 7 o'clock, Del Boy and I will be on my channel having a chat about his life as an Arsenal fan, a football fan. Surely most of it's going to be surrounding Arsenal, but I'm sure you'll find it interesting. And then on Friday, I'll be on Del Boy's channel again in the evening. We'll be finishing off our chat about the 1979-80 season, where Arsenal played an incredible 71 games. This Friday, we'll be talking about the club's FA Cup run, the League Cup run, and the Cup Winners' Cup run. And in 2 of those competitions, we got to the final. So anyway, guys, it's lovely talking to you all. Thanks very much for coming in. Looks like we've got a couple of chats here. Taib says Arteta's crack doesn't bleed red. Why is he Arsenal manager? Oh my God, Jesus. Taib, why do you do this to me, man? But yeah, there you go. And RG Productions, no faith in the Saints. Mate, I don't have any faith in a lot of clubs, mate. And I think you've hit a bit of a rocky patch of late. You got a good win against Arsenal, though, I have to say. A fully 100% deserved victory. I don't know. What do you think about the situation at Southampton? I have to say, I really like the young fella you've got playing up front for you. The Albanian kiddies. No, I can't even remember his name. Yeah, I can't. He's an Albanian fella, but I can't remember his name. But he looks a really, really top quality player. I'd like to think that you'd be able to sign him from Chelsea, but I dare say they're going to want an absolute bucket load of money for him now. That's the only issue. But I'm sure he'd be happy to go to you guys. But anyway, I will. And Andy, I have got your email. I will be responding. It's just been a bit mad for me of late. So I'm going to make a conscientious effort to do it at the weekend. Anyway, thanks very much, Andy. It was lovely seeing you in the chat again. Craig Malloy says, Warren, great show, and I will see you later. Thanks a lot, Craig. Lovely seeing you, and have a great rest of your day. And that goes to everyone else. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for coming and joining me and for all your comments and stuff. And also, anyone who's watching this on playback, please put comments in the chat. Please put comments in about what you thought about the weekend's games. And also tell me about any of the incidents that happened and what you thought about, particularly about the Liverpool-Everton game, because I believe it was there was a bit of controversy in that one. But yeah, so thanks very much for everyone who's been watching this on playback as well. Thanks to you all for coming and joining me in the chat. I'm just going to go through you all. So let's have a look, see who was here. So we had Taib Hussain, Craig Malloy, D Arsenal 49, Carl Walsh, who else we had? Static, Craig Malloy, JS, yeah, I think that's about it. And obviously DrawnByDre. So yeah, thanks very much to all of you lot. And like I say, thanks very much for coming in. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And take care of each other. Please make sure you spread some love and kindness around the world. Remember to keep talking. And I'll look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock on this channel with DrawnByDre. It's going to be great. Anyway, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks very much for tuning in. And be good. Have fun. Anyway, take care, guys. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.